It's called the Siasa.
Okay.
The Siasa show.
Okay, I'll share with others.
Yeah, sure. Joy, when you're ready, you just tell us.
You guys are purely online?
Yeah, we are purely online, but we are working to run something in the future that will see us go to there.
Online is okay.
But now we see. We go? All right. Chiamiro TV viewers, welcome to Siasa. My name is Godfrey Mithika, and today we are live from the Three Steers Hotel in Meru, where I host Madam Linda Kiome, the running mate to Honorable Mithika Linturi. Thank you for subscribing to Chiamiro TV on Facebook and also Chiamiro TV on YouTube. Karibuni and enjoy. Madam Linda Kiome, welcome to Siasa on Chiamiro TV.
Thank you so much.
All right, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right.
And thank you for having the show.
Yes.
Forward to an period.
All right. Mheshimiwa, you are making your first attempt, most probably in elective politics.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, sure. Most probably you'd like to tell us, okay, what is that motivation that is behind you wanting to send the people there as the deputy governor in come August 2022?
Okay, being a normal person,
Yes,
and seeing how our county government has been
yes,
previously, and seeing how other counties have performed, and seeing how they have made different developments.
yes,
Not to say that our county has not made developments, but especially that engagement of people in their participation
yes,
in the running of the county has really been very minimal.
okay,
And has not fair
yes,
at for the average person.
yes,
So for me, I feel being that average person,
yes,
and having been given this opportunity to be able to lead Meru County, I feel and I'm very enthusiastic about the changes that we can be able to make in our county, and especially in motivating also the youth
yes,
and the women, because substantively the women and the youth are the ones who are marginalized in our society.
Okay.
So being a woman and a youth, I feel that I have a lot I can offer for people in the caliber that I am.
Okay.
So for me, it's all about bringing a positive change, especially to our society,
yes,
and being able to change the things that I have not seen run in proper manner.
Okay. All right, Madam Linda, you've been a leader before, the Law Society of Kenya.
Sure.
Most probably you would like to tell the people of Meru so that they understand you even more what you were able to achieve as a representative of the Law Society of Kenya, I guess, in the Mount Kenya East, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually have been a representative.
Yes.
The Mount Kenya Law Society branch. Since my first year in practice as an advocate.
Okay.
I represented the Meru Bar, but thereafter I was able to be elected to be the assistant secretary.
Yes.
The branch, and about now this is the fourth year. I have been elected now twice as a branch chair person.
Yes.
When I found this, when I came into as a branch chair,
yes,
we didn't have a really vibrant branch.
Okay.
And we didn't even have an office that depicted status and the caliber of advocates.
Okay.
So the first thing that I did was to change the entire face of the branch.
Yes.
We're more engaged, of course, sports, and also engaged in eradicating quacks in our profession. Some of even sued court, but that notwithstanding, have stood our ground. I was also able to establish a good office for our society, one that the status and the caliber of advocates.
All right.
Which we were able to start it off. Now it's purely running. And also when I came into the branch as a chairperson, were not previously, we didn't have good records in terms of accounting.
Okay.
But when I came in, I ensured that put down procedures for protection of the funds that were given from the Law Society of Kenya.
Yes.
Until the society commended us for being the best branch
Yes.
in accountability and transparency of the funds of society.
Okay. Madam, which are these personal attributes do you think you're bringing now to elective politics? Now, as an advocate,
Yes.
which are those personal attributes do you think you're personally bringing to elective politics?
I would say I'm a humble person.
Okay.
And I also like accountability. I like transparency.
Yes.
I like to encourage participation in leadership. I am also that leader who is a transformative leader.
Okay.
When I'm given an office, I like to change things positive, progressive, not necessarily a lump sum, but within good time. When I have the resources, I am able to make positive changes according to the situation that is on the ground and the different circumstances. Of course, in the different areas.
All right.
Particularly being a county government, of course, I am really looking forward to engaging the members of the public, participating and in our governance and leadership and management of the county.
They say politics is a dirty game. What is your experience now after 2 months, 3 months down the line being appointed? How do you feel? What is your experience?
Well, I thank God. I have not experienced the dirty part of the politics, but I believe that it is time to change the narrative.
Okay.
I don't think that it adds any value to any politician to be engaged in these dirty games of insults, and calling each other names, and putting out there things that should not be out there in the public that are very personal to each other. So for me, I will not be engaged in dirty politics, and I pray to God that even if I may be attacked, then I'll be able to overcome any such attack.
Okay.
But it is time for us to change the narrative of politics. It is doable. For me, politics should begin in the church. That's what I've been teaching. That is where I've been going, the churches, because any institution that is based with a good foundation of Christianity, whether any other religion for that matter, Muslim, then I believe we can create a good base for the future of the county.
Why do you believe you and Mithika Linturi is the ticket to beat in August 2022?
The Honorable Mithika Linturi is a very seasoned lawyer. Absolutely amazing.
Okay.
For me, I think that he has a lot of experience that will be very, very important and will be for the benefit of the county. And now that we are in the winning team of the United Democratic Alliance, I believe that it's an added advantage for us. And now that he chose a woman, and a young woman at that, to represent both the women and the youth, he has so very wisely made his decision for a deputy governor to woo the women and the youth, who are the major voters in our republic. So it was a very calculated move. When I sit back and look at the effect my appointment has had in politics, I feel that he made a very calculated and a very wise.
Are there specific things as you as Linda you feel needs to be changed, even what we're having now currently as a county government? What exactly do you feel needs to be changed? What are those specific things that you feel these ones need to be changed come August 2022?
Basically, let's say need a lot of engaging members of the public, because these are the people we are coming to serve.
Okay.
That one of the biggest agenda Honorable Linturi,
Yes.
is that he will engage members in participating in leadership and consultation in leadership management.
Okay.
That is because when you sit at the counter and start imagining problems of your people without necessarily engaging them, then that is where you miss the point. So our biggest agenda will be engaging the members in resolving their problems
Yes.
together with them, and not sitting in our office and making them.
Yes.
So participation, consultation, leadership and management. That will.
Okay.
Number two, you cannot lead a sick society.
Okay.
You cannot lead a sick society or sick hospital.
Okay.
Our hospitals and our health sector is really in very bad shape.
Yeah.
I believe that must change institutional our health facilities.
Yes.
So many health facilities have been constructed. The infrastructure is there,
Yes.
but they have not yet been built properly
Yes.
to be able to handle our. So having had so many health institutions, I would say the first thing to do is ensure that our health sector has managed in the right way. All the infrastructure has been there.
Yes.
And then another thing besides that, our human resource, our biggest resource in any institution is a human resource. When you fail to empower your human resource, basically, can be assured there's no work that's done.
Okay.
So now we have our health.
Yes.
We have doctors and nurses goes for months without.
Okay.
You don't expect the doctors to come and treat us when their pockets are also ailing. We must fix our doctors' pockets first.
Yes.
And our nurses, so that they can be able to receive us well in the hospitals,
Yes.
so that they can be able also to manage our patients in the hospital.
Yes.
When we do public participation, when we ensure that our health sector ship, when we ensure that our human resource, not only in the hospitals, but also at the county, at the county government, because more often than not, we get complaints of workers are so demoralized because they either don't get paid time, their salaries, even when they start getting paid their salaries, they don't get paid in lump sum for everything that you're doing for them.
Okay.
So you realize you've paid them salary in January and you're in April, but then what happens to the other months? So they still have grievances. And when you have grievances with a human resource, then you can be assured that's how you get crimes of opportunity.
Yes.
When people go to collect revenue, you realize that almost 40% of the revenue will not come to the county.
But are you also aware of the issue of delays of money being dispersed from the national government?
Sure.
I think now, being an advocate, what measures most probably will you place to ensure that money flows to the county?
You see, the way the national government works,
yes,
more often than not, we will have those problems of money from the national government.
Yes.
But you also realize that in the county government, we also have a collection.
Okay.
Our biggest problem with our county is that it has a limits when it comes to the amount of money that should be one resource in the county. We have an overflow of manpower.
Okay.
When you have an overflow of manpower, you are using excess of the revenue in paying employees.
Okay.
So if we can have a way of seeing the percentages of revenue that should be going to one resource, of course, without necessarily throwing people out of their employment, with time, that can be sorted out.
Okay.
So that now we can be able to plan it. We don't get money from the national government at the period of time which we expect. How do we manage our human resources?
Okay.
Because we also have our own revenue account.
Okay.
So it's all about managing the resources that we have.
Yes.
As I said before, when you don't pay or you don't pay your human resource, and they're the same people who are collecting the revenue on the ground, there's bound to be crimes of opportunity.
Loopholes for corruption?
Loopholes for corruption. So that if the county government was expecting, say, get 100% of revenue that we collect on a day,
Yes.
we're only getting 60. So that 40%, we would put it in good as long as we're able to manage ourselves the right.
Okay. All right. It's no doubt you are a leader in your own perspective, especially in women leadership. And you have rightly put it, you have been a leader in the Law Society of Kenya and so on and so forth. But now I'm asking, what is your agenda for the women, the youth of this county?
For me, I want to give an opportunity to the women to have or to be empowered, to be able to stand on. We don't need leaders to come every 5 years to give us women in handouts for us to our voice. I want to change that scenario so that we empower our women now. The law as it is that 30% of all government contracts, whether at the national county, should be sent to the youth, the women, and the people living. But that is not right. In fact, implementation of that 30% has become a problem. So I intend to first of all empower our people to be able to learn skills, entrepreneurial skills, and also skills of how to get scored. Because if you tell a person that they should get 30%, not tell them how to get the 30%, not really help. So for our government, we'll be able to that 30% of contracts should be the women and the youth. Once we empower them, the only business the women are basically doing right now through their various groups is hiring of tents and chairs. But we can do more than that. I don't need to come and give 500 women 50,000. It will not help them. But if I give one of those women work to get money in that, and work not only in the county but also help them access services in the national government, then empowering them is better than handouts every once in 5 years. So that's my intention. For the youth, job employment. How will I give them job employment? We are saying that we have so many sectors in our economy that we need to explore in terms of value addition. The dairy industry, the miraa industry. It's unfortunate that when it comes to miraa, the government hasn't done much about it. There is an investment that has been done by Laikipia County for processing of miraa to produce juice and wine. By Laikipia County. Laikipia
our neighboring county.
Yes.
Not Meru.
Not Meru County. Laikipia does not plant miraa. This is something that should have been done by our county. Miraa is one of the cash crops that have been the biggest contributor in our economy. But that economic empowerment has been because, of course, we're seeing that so many other areas have banned the exportation and importation of miraa. So our market has reduced. Even as our market reduces, how can we look to expand the markets inside our country? Not necessarily out there.
Not miraa for export.
Not necessarily, because now there are areas that have been banned. But still we are producing miraa. How can we add value to miraa so that we can still sustain our people development-wise? And of course in the businesses. So I'm looking at, instead of that factory or that business enterprise having established by Lake County, why can't we take that opportunity and do it as a county? We establish it, we're going also to look for market for our people and jobs. Because if you establish such a factory, you're going to empower people with jobs. And then we are also going to empower now the people to look for markets for their products.
All right, Mheshimiwa, let's look at the controversial empowerment. I'm calling it controversial because you were gone full throttle to say that you want to look at the welfare, the well-being of our girls, and probably the other day we saw you going to the girls on the streets. Why do you feel that the girls on the streets need such awful empowerment at this point?
I think the girls, you mean the twilight
Yeah,
girls?
twilight girls.
The twilight girls are normal people like us.
Yes.
They have their constitutional rights just like.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is the business that they're engaging.
Okay.
When we talked to those girls, because they're the ones who invited us, in fact, they were having a whole seminar at ELSA at that particular time. And they said that they really wanted us to talk to them, hear their grievances, that we can look for ways to assist them.
Okay.
And it is very unfortunate that that situation was blown out of context.
Okay.
Because when we went there, they gave us their problems.
Yes.
That in the business that they engage in,
yes,
those tools are very important for them.
Okay.
And they say they were not in that business out of pleasure, but out of the problems that they have been engaging in. They have children
Yes.
who have to. They have houses they rent. They have mouths, and basically their families have neglected them.
Okay.
They don't have any startup capital, conduct any form of respectful business.
Yes.
Now, when you find people in a particular problem, even drug addicts, you don't withdraw drugs. You withdraw the drugs in session and in a period of time, so that the body can be able to stand the wrong.
Yes.
For these ones in particular, their grievance was that they really wanted those provided. But in addition to the tools, because that is not a sustainable, that we would be proud of as a county hosting such business, remembering that this is a business that have been in centuries and centuries.
Actually, it's the oldest
profession. Right. But not to say that we're encouraging it. We actually requested that we look for alternatives.
Okay.
We also requested that we be able to get them startup capital and startup kits, depending on the talents of each one of them.
Yes.
If you're a saloonist, you'll get startup capital for that. If you don't have the experience of being a saloonist, then you look for a talent that you enjoy, and we would facilitate that through these institutions because they are there.
Yes.
And we will be able to manage them, the TVET institutions, short courses, and then they'll be able now to come back and them startups.
Okay.
Or any other business that's be able to establish. We also advised them to join as a group or to establish a group to be able to be funded. And in that group, they'd be able to ask for short-term loans at a very small interest because it is still in their group.
Yes.
So what was majorly highlighted was the provision of those tools, which we feel that at the end of the day, you're not able to manage them as at now before you provide the tools. Then would be creating a scenario whereby we are looking at an increase of spread of sexually transmitted disease. But how do you cap that? There's only one way you can cap that, by providing in the short term. But in the long term, we gave them the alternatives that we are going to provide for you an empowerment program of how you're going to cease from doing business and do some respectable business. Because one of the ladies said that she's concerned her son is going to be a young man. And when this young man finds her standing on the corridors of Makutano, what would tell the young man? So she said purposely she wanted to find an alternative to this business that she was doing. And so was the request of even the other lady. They wanted to be empowered to stop this business of twilight and start doing some respectable. But it is very unfortunate that our leaders, as we are saying, we want to change the narrative. It's not about putting me in bad light. or putting Mheshimiwa Mithika Linturi in bad light.
Okay.
But it is about the situation, because this situation is there. Even when we close our eyes again,
Yes.
Godfrey, that business is ongoing. It is our sons, they are our daughters, it's our husbands and fathers who procure the service.
All right.
But if we empower them and they come out of the streets, then we can get rid of that kind of business, if it is possible. But for us, we are really looking forward to it. We are really, really passionate and looking forward to empowering them, so that they can start up some respectable.
All right. Mheshimiwa, now we have just 3 months to vote elections. What is your message to the Meru and Kenyans, just in a nutshell, shortly, as you wind up?
My message of Meru is that they need to consider electing politicians who are going to help them and empower them, not to give them handouts, so that they can be able to sustain themselves in the future.
All right.
If you look at them, the agenda for United Democratic Alliance, we say we want to empower people from the grassroots, bottom going up. Because when you empower people from the bottom, then they will not require anyone's handouts. But if we empower people from the top, those people, the only thing they do is for the bottom handouts.
Okay.
But if we empower ourselves from down here, border, those girls, wheelbarrow people, our farmers, mama mboga. If we start from there, going up, because 75% of our economy is from the shamba. And out of this 75%, also another 75% of people employed in the farms are women. So if you are able to reach out to the women, who of course form the basis of the family, be able to empower the husband, and also be able to empower the children, and be living in a society that has been empowered, not one that is handouts.
Okay.
So let them consider electing our youth team.
Okay.
For us, our senator, Kazuri, and our governor is Honorable Linturi. Of course, myself. Let them also consider other MCAs who are aspiring and our ticket.
Okay.
But I would say this: there are so many other independent candidates or aspirants, as well as other aspirants who are not necessarily under, but those who are the umbrella of Kenya Kwanza.
Okay.
So basically, what you are telling them, you are the ones who are the best leaders. Choose the best leaders for us, and we'll be able to work together with them, not discriminate. But at the end of the day, what matters is that we have a good team that will be able to steer the country.
All right. Madam Linda Kiome, it's been a pleasure having Siasa on Chairman. And we are Chairman. Wish you the best in the day to succeed in future, and show the best in politics.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for creating time to this.
Thank you so much.
Asante. All right. Chairman TV viewers, that has been Siasa. I've been your host, Godfrey Mithika. We are coming live from Linturi'S Hotel. I've been hosting Linda Kiome, and handing it to Honorable Mithika Linturi, who is running a UDA ticket and wants to be the next governor of Meru. See you next time.